3 is the future.
Welcome, crew, to What Are Your Three, a Channel 3 podcast where we take a member of the Channel 3 community, discuss 3 games of their choosing, go through some honorable mentions and some other odds and ends for a nice little video game discussion. I am Dan, with me as always, Ray.
Let me tell you, I don't know why, but I thought you were going to say something else when you said I am. Don't know why. I thought you were going to pick a different name. That's that.
My inflection changed on that one, and just the inflection.
I thought you were going to say I am Dancer. I don't know what it was, but I was.
You just want to get dancing.
I got nervous. But anyway, tonight we've got booshgadoosh with us in the chat. Boosh, how you doing tonight?
Good evening, all you cool cats and kittens. Happy to be here.
And we're happy to have you. We've got a bunch of games to talk about. Yes. And first one right away, we get into it. Full Throttle, 1995.
Yes,
I looked it up because you posted about it that you played both the original and the remake. But let's start with the original, 1995, point and click, Full Throttle. Tell us about it.
Oh yeah, so goodness gracious, back in the 90s, I didn't have a console at home. My brother had a Pentium 2 DX8. I can't remember the name of the thing. Anyway, I had to ask him about it. So we had 2 games on this little Pentium computer, MS-DOS, and it was Doom 2 and Full Throttle. Everyone that came over to my house, they played Doom 2 till the keyboard fell apart. Anyway, so I tried out Full Throttle, and honestly, the first thing that hooked me was the music. Like, the first thing I hear is, Gone Jackals, Legacy is the name of the song, and it blew me away. And I'm just watching this, this intro sequence, and I'm just like, I want to keep playing this. So I kept going, and just kind of learned about the story. And obviously the point and click mechanics were very frustrating because a lot of times, I'm at that time, 95, I was 9 years old, dating myself here. And
careful, that puts you in the 80s, which means you're fodder for Ray. He's just going to start taking shots.
I was going to say, Dan's still older. Don't worry about it.
I know he is. I was going to say he's probably in high school at the time. But anyway.
What? Now I'm catching. I don't deserve that. I was in 7th grade. I'm not catching strays for that.
There's junior, senior high school. You might as well have been in high school at that point.
That's so funny. But yeah, no, it's definitely the point and click thing was just very new to me. And honestly, storytelling as a medium, that was kind of my introduction to that, because, hey, I played a handful of side scrollers on the Nintendo. I'd go to my friend's house, play things like Road Rash on the Sega, whatever. I love those games. Well, honestly, for me, I was like hooked and glued into Full Throttle, just going through the game and learning about all the choices. And the story was pretty cool, and it was pretty funny. And I think, Tim Schafer, he is diabolical, especially when it comes to his like puzzle design, and I mean just the way he writes his games. Like, some of it where it's just so frustrating from the from the motorcycle fights. You have to kind of, the pixels really matter in those things, especially in the old school one. With the remaster, it was actually harder on the remaster, and then you could actually go to a classic mode on the new one that came out. I want to say 5 or 6 years ago they came out. Maybe it's a little sooner than that, but the remaster is actually harder to play than if I put it on classic settings. So anyway, there was a lot of hard puzzles, and my 9-year-old brain was just struggling. And honestly, I didn't have any help. I didn't have the internet to help me out, so I just had to sit there and toil away until I figured it out. But when I got through it, I just kept playing through it. And, years later, the computer was gone, and, I'm in high school, and I've come upon a garage sale where I found a copy of this thing just sitting in somebody's collection. Bought it for $2 and just stuck it in my closet, and I've had it since then, like waiting to have a computer to run it. But then they popped out with this remaster on Xbox, and I played it probably like 4 or 5 times. My son tried to play it. He was not really into it. But once in a while, I'll go back to it just to kind of relive those old days. It's good times, good memories.
So this game was actually featured in Bitmap Books. They had a whole art of point and choose adventure games, and that's the post they made about it. It was funny because I was looking through to see, all right, what did Boosh post about this game? It's Full Throttle, and that was like one of the first ones that Bitmap Books was like, yeah, you should have played Full Throttle. This was like a great point and click game.
I was
like, look at that. Someone else knew about it because let me tell you, I did not know about this. So I think my point and click like history is like putt putt golf. And like,
oh god,
whatever that little car was doing, or like there was like I think there was like a goldfish game, point and click game too. I forget the name of it. That was like that's what I had for point and click.
We got to start somewhere, man.
Right,
So,
that was what we had.
Yeah.
So tell me about you got when you got the remastered. You just how are you pointing and clicking on the Xbox? Is it take longer because you have to like use the control stick to move around?
Without question, yeah. No, using the control, the thumbsticks to move stuff around. I mean, it was not a lot of whole screen real estate to sit there and peruse, but like, having played it so many times, like my muscle memory, not muscle memory, but my kind of memory of where things were kind of clicked in, and it's just, yeah. Honestly, on a PC is a much better experience. On an Xbox, it was fine. Just a little slower. I think there was settings you could speed up the actual cursor to move a little quicker, but it didn't hinder the experience. Slightly slower, and I think there was one particular puzzle later in the game where you have to kind of have the timing right, so that might come into play a little bit. But it was fine. It's not like they give you half a second to do it. There's plenty of time to do what you got to do, but it didn't hinder too much. Honestly, it was a great remaster. I really enjoyed it.
So playing through it so many times, have you at this point just picked all the wrong choices as well, just to see if there's any other outcomes or how they kind of push you back on the track, or they just say, no, that's wrong, try again, especially like trying to find the right dialogue to choose?
Oh yeah, I mean, so yeah, obviously dialogue choices, the longer you take to get the right ones, the longer it's going to take you to get to the next kind of tech point in the game. And obviously there's a lot of decisions that have to do with not just the speaking part, but actually actions that you take in the game. If you're not doing things a certain way, like you have to get your motorcycle all souped up to jump over the Cuyahoga Gorge, and you got to get a lot of materials to do that. And if you don't do them, if you're not familiar with the way to get them, or if you don't get the materials that you need to kind of get this, create this action where you can jump the gorge, it takes a while. And that probably for me took a while. But there's some later puzzles in the game that just I want to say took weeks for me to figure out. But yeah, making those old mistakes kind of were fun again to see. Oh, okay, yeah, that was dumb.
Now here's something that just came up. I thought it was a weird fact, but it kept coming up when I was reading about it, and I want to see if this had ever even occurred to you. The fact that when you put your cursor on something that you can interact with, that it would give you like a red square and almost like acknowledge, like, yeah, this is something you can interact with. Please click on this, because they keep talking about it like it was this really big deal to have that in the game.
Well, yeah, there's certain things, and actually it's kind of funny. One of the most hilarious things when I was a kid is, you would click on somebody and then use your tongue, or like click on something in the game and you can use your tongue, your hands. Like obviously he'll try to grab it if you use a hand, but if you choose your tongue and like you put it on somebody, he's like, I'm not putting my lips on that. He'll say something funny. It's really funny. Just that little bit of humor was great. But yeah, no, there's things that interact with, and he'll be like, oh, he'll groan if you can't use it. Or if you click on something that's not meant to, it's actually not locked or something, he'll kick the door and whatever. It's just a stupid little thing. But yeah, there's a lot of things you can interact with, and depending on, and that's the one thing, as you mentioned, yeah, that can slow down your ability to get through the game if you don't choose the right action. If you choose, with your mouth instead of your hand, then yeah, you're going to slow you down, and you realize, oh, it kind of clicks after a while.
Do you feel like this game influenced you at all? That's kind of what I'm gonna finish with here, because it was a game you played when you were young, and you said this was kind of like a new thing with a story. Do you feel like that influenced you at all later playing other games or any interest or even the music? Did you hear Legacy by Gone Jackals and decide I need to find more music that sounds like this?
Honestly, that was the launch pad for me was the music, and that kind of dictated my music taste, into my formative years. My mom and dad didn't really listen to much. My mom was like a Motown girl, and my dad listened to, honestly, whatever was at the bar. He didn't have a favorite artist. He just was indifferent about it. But music for me was like when I heard that opening riff on that song, I'm like, oh, this is cool. Like, and then honestly, later on, I got into, different bands and things of similar, rock, metal, whatever it is. And it influenced me to kind of pick up playing the guitar later. But for me, that was the launch pad. Obviously, point and clicks is not something that's not really, I don't really care for them. That was the one that really grabbed me. Like I tried doing, Monkey Islands, Monkey Island 2, Day of the Tentacle. They're fine games in their own right. Even a little Grim Fandango. But it just didn't pull me in. Didn't really suck me in like Full Throttle did. It just spoke to me better.
I didn't
By the way,
expect Nick Boy to take
suck
direct
in-
shots in this. It's like
First of all, it didn't suck in a lot of people, and that's why LucasArts ended up making this game.
Yeah.
Like that's actually it's so funny. You said Monkey Island and the Day of the Tentacle. I was like, yeah, those came before it, and then they said, all right, we gotta really put a good story out here for this next one because we gotta find something that kind of is popular again. It's actually funny that you brought that up.
No, it's great. It's got actually an awesome voice cameo in it. I don't know if you guys knew or not, and maybe you're going to talk about that, but there's a great voice cameo in there. One of the villains of the game, voiced by a very amazing voice actor. But it's just the story's it's fine. Honestly, for me, like one thing that was really cool was the technology in that particular game. It was just kind of very futuristic, but like kind of current day, but it almost didn't seem like out of place. It just seemed like it kind of went with it. I don't know. If that makes any sense to you, but it kind of fit better, even though it was kind of like, okay, this technology is never going to exist. Floating cars and these helicopters that just flying from nowhere with spotlights that are just like, I don't know, they look like mini drones. I don't know. There's some future forward stuff in that game, but
I guess somebody was just hanging around Skywalker Ranch. I had to look up to see who the cameo was.
Yeah.
And that might have to be a trivia question between then and now. That'll have to pop in there.
Yeah, for sure. No, it's just Mark Hamill, dude. He was just Adrian Rittberger. Just these really deep, grovelly voice, and he just nailed it. He's so good in everything he does. But anyway. Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm going to make a jump here, and I have to start because time is a cruel mistress.
Yeah.
Because all this talk of 1995, and I realize your next game is 2008, which means those games were 13 years apart, and we're now 17 years away from 2008, and that stings a little bit because it's like
a lot of time.
What a huge jump from Fallout. I mean, from Full Throttle to Fallout 3. Just when you think about like the point and click aesthetic and all this, and then we're taking like the ISO game and going to full. That was 13 years apart, and oh my god, that's.
Yeah, you're right. It's actually more time between now and then than it was when I played Fallout 3. Yeah, that's.
Well, you don't feel it because Fallout 3 is free every other month on some on the Sun game thing. Amazon Prime is giving Fallout 3 away.
I know
to anyone who can take it.
And he still won't pick it up.
No, I have it. I have to have it somewhere by now.
I got New Vegas booted up to get those screenshots finally for Target, so it's time. Let's go.
Yes. I remember I complained about the Fallout. I don't know, the lack of inclusion of the Fallout series, and you guys threw me a bone here and there.
I've got 3 and 4 in the rotation. I had to get my PlayStation set up because I have it on PlayStation 3, but I'm like, wait, this doesn't have a screen capture function. I gotta like hook it up to my computer and get the screenshots from my computer. It's a whole production. It was a whole thing.
Remember when you didn't screenshot things? Remember when that wasn't a thing?
No, the scary part.
Why would I take a picture of a video game?
The scary part's pick up my PlayStation 3 controller and feeling like I'm going to break it just touching it. Like it feels so fragile compared to.
See now you're understanding why why I always talk up the Xbox 360. I got it right.
That's the greatest controller ever made.
Well, see, I just have
Without
the Power
question.
A version of it, so I can't say experience the full 360 experience.
2006 right here.
It's not Power.
Strong.
I thought it was Power A. I was mispronouncing that forever then. Okay.
Poera? We want to call it that?
Poera.
I like it. Let's do it. Poera.
You know, I've been moving on though. Ori, I have the Ori split pad for the Switch, but I have the Pro so you can connect it and actually make it a controller.
That's so cool.
And I think it's my favorite controller right now. Like
the Ori,
it's solid.
The Ori's gotten a lot of good press. So damn, I really would like to get that for sure. For my phone.
That's the one. I'll tell you, the Ori is the best.
Whatever they have for the Switch 2.
Yeah. I'm gonna pull off whatever comes on the Switch 2. I'm gonna attach Ori controller right to it.
Well, at least if you take out the controllers from the Switch 2, you got a couple of mice now. I guess
a couple mice,
or
at least one mouse.
Some patented mouse functionality to them for sure.
Weird. I can't wait to
patent
see what
mouse functionality. I keep getting stories of getting new GameCube controllers for Switch 2 specifically. Which makes everyone say, does that mean new Smash Brothers, or does that mean GameCube Online?
New Smash Brothers is coming. It's not an if, it's a when. How many times do I have to tell you people?
No, of course it's coming. But is the GameCube controller telling us that comes first, or is it GameCube Online coming first? That's the question.
We're not here to talk that with Boosh, though. We're here to talk Fallout 3, the 2008 4.5 star just killer experience here. So we made a big jump in your 3, and I don't know if you've got a theme or if these are just like ones that hit close to home for you, but Fallout 3 second on your list.
Yeah, close to home for sure. Well, Fallout 3 was my foray into RPG. Up until that point, I was playing shooters, twitchy games. Prior to that, obviously, I had played some story stuff with. Resident Evil, Metal Gear Solid, all that stuff. Played a lot of cool games, but this was my first RPG. And every time I'm engaged with an RPG of any kind, I get overwhelmed because I'm like, what are all these things I got to worry about? I got skills I got to talk to these people and then make sure I don't upset them. And honestly, Fallout 3 was I just kind of slowed it down. I said, okay, I got to learn. This is obviously a game that's popular right now, and I just want to give it a shot. And what I loved the most was that opening few hours. Like you're in Vault 101, you're a baby. You come out of your mother, and you see your dad.
You've got viscera in your eyesight. Yes,
I know. You come out and you're talking to Liam Neeson, and obviously he's the voice actor of the father in that game. But and from there you kind of grow up, and it was cool. It was like, oh, I'm a kid. I'm playing with other kids, and we're all hunkered down in this bunker, and there's a lot of bad stuff that happened outside of it. But just kind of going through that, and then when you're released to the wild, it's kind of like, oh my God, everything can kill me. And I was just like, I don't know. It really hooked me, and I love the retro future post-apocalyptic theme. And leading up to the release of the game, I caught a couple of videos, Todd Howard showing off, the VAT system, which I love. I adore the VAT system, but I try not to use it so much unless I've got way too many things in front of me. But
crank that agility up. Give me VATs all day. I don't want to hear it.
Yeah, the VATs, yeah. And for me, I didn't touch intelligence, and I didn't realize how important intelligence would be to kind of, circumvent, having to fight people. Your intelligence, your speech, rather, those things will all come into play when you're trying to move through the game.
Yeah, you don't get the short on charisma and intelligence to bulk up your strength, endurance, and agility. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah, I was just like, I need to carry as much stuff as possible. So bump my strength. I'm using all the little unique abilities that you get every couple of levels, and I took a few playthroughs before I was like, okay, I got this game. Messed with the difficulty a little bit, and honestly, things were just bullet sponges when I did that, so I kind of kept it on normal. The story was okay, but the thing that hooked me was just like everything in that game, like every piece of that map was alive. Every corner, every story in there was just interesting to me. Whereas the kind of later games, Fallout New Vegas is good in its own right, much better story, but it felt so empty. Like there's a lot of the map you can't even explore. That was one of the things I did when I started New Vegas was I explored all over, and I just felt empty. And there was cool stuff, but
it's a lot of
for
desert.
me, Fallout 3, a lot of desert, a lot of empty space. And I lived in the West Coast for a lot of years, and I even visited some of the locales there. But whatever. Bottom line is, Fallout 3 just felt like a much fuller, richer game, and obviously there's some shortcomings with the aiming and the kind of stiff movements. I did like that you could toggle back first or third person, but I always was a first person kind of guy, so I didn't care for the third person view. First person was where it was at, and I loved it. I fell in love with that game, and I play it honestly once a week, only because with the I'm a Microsoft rewards guy, so every week I got to keep my multiplier up. I got to play a Game Pass game every day, every single week to kind of keep my multiplier. And Fallout 3, I always pull it out and I just start progressing through the game. And sometimes I get kind of lost. 2 hours later, 2 hours go by, and I'm just like, shoot, I should probably play something newer.
I didn't go down this corner of the subway yet. It's not explored on my map. Let's go find out where this goes. Oh, look, right. I found my way into a cult. Okay.
Exactly. Oh, the fiends, all the DLCs. I just loved every bit of it. I think the one DLC that was kind of lacking for me was the one where you go up into the alien spaceship. I forget what it was called.
I don't remember the name of it, but yeah, you were abducted and had to battle your way.
It was all right. I got a really cool gun out of it, but it just was whatever. But
I have a new appreciation for the pit after moving to Pittsburgh. It looks exactly like they did it in the game, just a post-apocalyptic wasteland. So. Oh yeah, no, I love that they kind of shrink it down. And honestly, one of the places that's on my list to go is DC, just because I'm like, okay, I'm going to show you guys around DC, and I'm like, wait a minute, it takes a lot longer, and there's way more traffic in DC than there is in the game, obviously. But it's just they shrink it down and give you kind of a little bit of a smaller version of that world. But there's obviously very real locales that you can visit, like the National Mall and all that stuff. And at some point I'm going to get there. But yeah, no, it was play it once a week, and I just I think back and I'm like, oh my god, there's actually a part of this game I haven't touched, and it's kind of like the cool thing about RPGs, especially ones that are as vast as that one. Yeah, you mentioned I just have to shout out again, pre-taken Liam Neeson, the soft paternal actorly gentleman before he became a
action star.
Yeah, before he became action star Liam Neeson, threatening you with everything. It's so weird, because when I booted that one up again to play it and start over, I'm like, this is so weird. This was like the Liam Neeson I expected in 2008, like the soft Oscar Schindler actorly, fatherly, paternal. Yeah. And now I'm like, oh my god, this is so weird hearing him not threaten somebody. Wow, weird.
Yeah, he was very soft-spoken and never yelled at me, didn't threaten me with his set of skills, and I thought he was an okay dad, except for the part where he left me forever.
So your special abilities, you talked about that. You had your strength, perception, endurance, charisma, intelligence, agility, and luck. And
yes.
So you made the mistake of shirking intelligence a few times, it sounds like, which I think they make you suffer more for in 4 than they do in this game. Like in 4, if you set your intelligence to 1, I've never tried to set it to 1 in Fallout 3, but you get real dumb responses just like noises and guttural. Someone says science thing, you don't even know what's happening with your responses. But I don't know if it was that severe here or not.
Yeah, no, the dialogue choices when you're, a box of rocks in terms of the intelligence department is hilarious, and it's. But anyway,
you can't hack a computer to save your life either.
And honestly, that mini game I hated for so long, the hacking part, and I was just like, whatever. I don't need this stupid terminal. And there was a couple of parts in the game man, there's probably some really good loot over here. I should learn how to do this. So it took some time, and I was like, okay, I get this now. So the hacking minigame rather for the computer terminals was actually something I enjoy now. Believe it or not, I went from something I just loathed to like, hey, I can't wait.
Once you find out, you just gotta kind of hover around. And you find like the shortcuts and like the remove the false answers and resets and everything. Like, oh, it's this is nothing, and like you can hack the computer while you have a bullet like whizzing at your face, and just the bullet just sits there, and you just hack the computer. It's fine. Everything's good. Hold on, guys. Hold on. I gotta hack this. Hold on.
Yeah, hold your bullets. There's a death claw right behind me, but hold on. I gotta log it. There's a really cool pistol in this room. I gotta get. Hold on a second. No, that was always funny. You know, mid fight, just going into your pit boy and healing all of your ailments. You know, I got a concussion. Let me take care of that. You know, they'll stop what they're doing and let me do my thing.
See, I was gonna inject this needle directly into my temple. Thank you.
Yeah, no, it was no, that was kind of fun. I was like, that doesn't make any sense, but you know what? I'll go with it. It's just they're being forgiving to the player. Yeah, no, it's definitely on my Mount Rushmore of games, Fallout 3, and it's got obviously one of the most terrifying, you know, enemies in any game ever with the Death Claw. Like first time I ever came up against one of those, I just got one-shotted. I think I was like up in the I'm
not supposed to be here yet, I see.
All right. And you learn that pretty quickly. You start wandering off into the northern part of the map, and I found this place called the Dunwich Building, and this thing was just like a Deathclaw haven.
Yeah, it's the nest, like, yeah.
And I just was like, whoa, honestly, I had a fear of the game. Like I want to stay out of the area. Like I need to have power armor. You know, I need to bring out my super mutant companion. I need some brute force.
Where's my invincible helper? Whatever his name was. Yes.
Yeah. Yes. All the stealth boys, every single one. It was just crazy. It was such a fearful feeling just going up against those creatures. And I'm looking forward to. I know it's the same vein of what we're talking about, but the show season 2 did show for Fallout, the TV show. The second season did reveal that. It looks like we're going to be getting some death claws. I'm excited about that, and also scared to see how badly they get messed up.
And New Vegas, like it's just there's death claw skulls in New Vegas, like it's they're not dancing around it. They're just going right for it.
Yeah, and hopefully they go to the quarry there in New Vegas, and that's where they're going to be finding them. Anyway, we'll see what happens with that. But yeah,
the death claws for me, like you said, you die and like, oh, okay, I should not be here. I leave. But it's when you get Fallout 4 and you get that like early weak power armor and you're like, okay, I've got a minigun. Here comes the Death Claw. I'm just going to mow this thing down. And then it jumps to the side. I'm like, oh no, they're more agile in this game. This is not good. This is not good.
Yeah, exactly. Or when I jumped in the power armor without any actual covering on it, it's just like a power armor,
just a frame.
The frame. I was like, you got to get me with those claws. But no, that was honestly the power armor feeling in Fallout 4 was so much better. I just felt like a superhero. Stole so many fusion cores from people that needed it. I was just a bad guy.
All right, the most important question, Megaton. What did you do?
Oh, I blasted that thing off of the earth, bro.
Didn't even think about it.
Honestly, I had no reservations.
There's no hesitation. I didn't even get to finish saying Megaton, and you heard him start to answer.
It's gone. It's gone already.
No, it's disappeared. The thing for me was just dealing with the people. Honestly, the layout of that place sucked because as soon as you go into the front door, it's just a dip into the middle where this undetonated nuclear bomb is sitting, and it created a crater. And honestly, the traversal up the stairs and getting to your apartment and crater side supply with Moira, she's just too much. Honestly, I did her
the whole Wasteland survival guide.
I did the whole thing, and then that's when I blasted the place away. I was like, I want to get all the perks by Moira, and
So wait, did you do that your first playthrough? No, there's no way you could have done that your first playthrough. What did you do your first playthrough?
Oh, first playthrough, I kind of went back and forth a little. I was learning the game. The first playthrough, I did the Paragon run, but every single time after that, knowing what I knew about Megaton and how much I just loathed going there, and Moira with her yap, I just, I went to, Tenpenny, and I said, sir, we're going to work together, and I want to see that beautiful thing light off into the sky in the distance. And I've done that each time ever since. It's just the Tenpenny Tower suite is just completely amazing.
You just don't want to hear her talking like this, eh? You don't want some of that now.
No, and she survives that freaking thing, turns into a ghoul, spoiler alert, but you go back there and she's still kicking, put 2 in her head, but she's a nice gal. But I'm not all bad. I did invite the ghouls into Tenpenny Tower to kind of live. I just thought that was kind of crappy because they're cool people. They're people too. They were people, I guess. But one of the quests. Sorry if I went too deep there.
No, it's okay, because then the fun part of that is like, oh yeah, we'll all live together, and then you come back the next time and there's no human being left, and it's just ghouls in there.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess we didn't live together. You go in the basement, you find the pile of bodies. Like, oh, never mind. Okay, carry on. Good talk, guys. Good talk.
Yeah. No, it was fun inviting them in, but yeah, no, Megaton, bye bye. No, I honestly had no. After that first playthrough, I was over it. What's that bot that sits in the front saying hello? Welcome.
One
to
of the Cogsworth looking guys.
Yeah, he's got like a sheriff hat on or something. I don't know. I can't remember. But anyway, yeah, him and I just whatever. Bye bye. But yeah, go ahead.
Well, let's jump back a year for your third game. Back to Rock Band 2007, 4.3 rated. The upgrade. The interactive music genre that Guitar Hero had dominated and just kind of blew onto the scene with here. But Guitar Hero, but you get the other instruments. You get drums, you get a bass, you get to sing.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Later on, keyboards and stuff like that. But Rock Band. I had started, obviously I played, guitar for a while, and then Guitar Hero came out. I played through that game. I kept a couple of them, but Rock Band for me was just, that was when everyone in the living room can get involved, right? So I got the drums, I got 2 guitars, and I spent, I bought something like 300 songs, $2 a song times 300. Like, I spent a lot of money on that game. And
listen, we know it's the same code, Fortnite. Just go ahead and give us the songs we already have the rights to from Rock Band. We know it's all the same. Right. Just shift it over, guys.
Right. No, and that was honestly like, that's what kind of there was an itch I had to scratch when Fortnite Festival came out. I'm like, nah, I spent so much money on these songs, and I can import these all over. And then I got Rock Band 4 Rivals was like $10. And
you just bought it for the song. You bought Rivals for the songs. That's all it was. It was just one giant DLC pack. Yeah.
Well, exactly. Is all my songs back, and then I've spent more money since then on songs that I just always wanted to get. And then I was kind of introducing my son to the game a little bit. He's, got the guitars. I got the little PDP wireless Xbox controller guitar that just came out last year, and I had a blast with it. It's not quite as good as the old Fender and guitars, or even
shout out to Mad Cats for those too, because we may jump on third-party controllers, but Mad Cats put together some quality music equipment.
Without question, they put together that drum set. The first one was okay, kind of noisy for Rock Band 1, but Rock Band 2 is when it really it was just amazing.
It was that hard plastic for the first Rock Band, then they got the softer rubbery stuff that didn't clack.
Yeah, and it kind of, the bounce back was much better on the sticks, and Mad Catz just did a great job. I've just been praying and hoping that they'll release some sort of drum accessory at some point for the Rivals, but because it's like, I don't know, $300 or $400 if you want a Rock Band 4 drum set. So, I've been perusing, Reddit for like, some sort of.
So sorry to hear that.
Yeah. So anyway, whatever. I'll get the band back together. I'm slowly getting my pieces back together. But yeah, Rock Band for me, just everyone getting in the living room playing together and failing and laughing, and it was a great party game. Just amazing. The best party game ever, honestly, in my opinion.
Were you as unhealthy as me? So I went double bass. Like, by the time the Rock Band 2 drums came out, they gave you the option you could put a second bass pedal in. And I also had the Pro cymbals as well. So you could upgrade and attach the cymbal kit they had that like would separate the cymbals from the various snares below.
Yeah, I didn't have the add-ons. My brain just does not work well enough to accommodate trying to do all these different things with my hands and feet. And the double drum is just lost to me. I just kind of did the classic, 4 pads bass drum. I thought the cymbals would be a cool add-on, but I just never got around to doing it. And then I moved, so I kind of had to sell all my stuff or give it away.
The other question I have. Oh, go on, Ray. Sorry.
I was thinking, even in Fortnite Festival, I think the drums is the hardest instrument to do.
Without question.
I can't do it. Like I'm not.
Well, it's
I
not
have
coded
no
for a
feeling
controller.
Oh, that
Yeah.
even besides that, I have no feeling for playing drums. Like,
Well,
it's
because
like, it's
at least with a
hard.
drum, like I started to understand. I have no musical talent whatsoever, but I at least started to understand what I was hearing with the drums and what I was seeing. Like my brain can't process that with the controller. Of like, no, like I can do one button at a time. I can't do like with the drums where okay, I got to do two at a time. Like, and when things are off rhythm, when you get in the harder heights, like yeah, okay, fine, but it's rough.
Yeah, no, the drum tracks for Fortnite Festival were honestly, they're probably the hardest. If you're going to play on expert mode, they're definitely the hardest track to do because there's a lot of 3 button presses. If you're doing it with a controller, it's hard because you have to kind of keep that rhythm. It's like 2 button, 3 button, 2 button, it's just back and forth. I think was it Buster Boy? I mean, he posted a time on there.
Buster's got some crazy scores on there.
He's amazing at those rhythm games. Honestly, I'd love to play like in real life with him on Rock Band. That'd be cool. He'd probably slay me to death. But yeah, no, that's definitely the hard. Ray, you're definitely right. That's the hardest track to play, especially in expert mode. However, with the PDP controller, it's actually much easier. Obviously, with a controller, you have 2 hands. You got your your thumbs. You're moving all over the place. I don't know if anybody's ever tried to do more than your thumbs on the controller, but it's hard, especially when you got 3 button presses that you got to do. But it's on the actual guitar, playing those drum tracks on the guitar. It's actually much easier. Anyway.
Did you, by the time like 3 came out, they also had an attachment that you could get like the MIDI attachment and hook a real guitar up to it? Because you said you had some actual experience. Did you ever tinker with any of that nonsense when they got that far?
I never did, and there was obviously another game that came out. It's called Rocksmith.
Rocksmith claimed it could teach you how to play a real guitar. Yes.
I'm sure that was fine and well. I had an actual guitar. I didn't mess with like the game trying to teach me with their technology or whatever. I'm sure it was cool. I never got around to trying it though. To answer your question, if I ever felt the itch to I just learned by playing, listening to songs that I liked and just doing one note at a time, and just eventually started playing with people that were better than me. But anyway, and then YouTube kind of helped me. With lessons and stuff like that. But no, I never tried the actual the MIDI attachments in those games that kind of taught you.
So you walk up to a Rock Band collection. You've got your 2 guitars, your bass, your guitar, your drums, your vocals. Which one are you picking up if you're the first one up there?
Well, for me, it's the drums. I just think it's just the most fun. Honestly, that I'm playing guitar and on Rock Band. It's fine. It's good. I don't know, but just the interactivity of playing the drums, it's just a lot more fun. Even if you suck, like it's kind of messes with your brain a little bit trying to keep up with the timing, but it's just a more interactive experience. And honestly, the drum tracks were some of the best made tracks. Rather the track whatever. I'm losing my. Maybe it's late. I just can't even think right now. But anyway. But yeah, the drums were definitely the most fun for me. Without question.
What were your go-to songs? That's the other question.
For Rock Band, honestly, one of the most fun songs to play was Steely Dan, Bodhisattva. It's just every single track on there, bass, guitar, drums. It was a challenge, but it was such a good song. I played a lot of Iron Maiden on there. Those were just face melters, and I only ever got through expert barely on those songs. And then later on they would release other stuff, Pantera, which I'm a huge fan of, and they did drop a few Metallica songs. Who was it? And Justice for All, Black.
They had whole albums they put out for them. Yeah.
But they didn't allow them to be imported. I was only able to import 3 of the songs, but they're not available to buy anymore. There was a licensing thing.
Right. I forgot they were the ones that blocked like their tracks from being transferred. Everybody else was like, yeah, go ahead, move them over to the new game. Go for it. No, Metallica, of course not. They were
no. I know they had a
gratis
whole.
with them.
I don't know if it had anything to do with Guitar Hero Metallica coming out, and then just kind of.
It's a brand for Metallica. They will not give you an inch.
No, they don't. But yeah, for me, it was just like a lot of metal songs. And honestly, the one song that I always go to, I play at least, I have a set list, like on Rock Band Rivals, I'll have a set list. I make 5 or 6 songs, and every time I always put Stevie Ray Vaughan's Texas Flood on there. It's just so fun to play. And it's just, I don't know, you feel like, I don't know, I get the chills every time I play it. I'm just a big Stevie Ray Vaughan fan. Stevie Ray Vaughan. Keep saying Fawn, but anyway.
This is where I'm going to just shout out my contempt for Boston's foreplay long time on expert drums, and just the 874 times it took me to be able to clear that one to get all of my expert drums completed.
Yeah, no, the foreplay long time is such a good one. I prefer to play it on the guitar. The drums are fun too, but that was
the drum opening for that is impossible. The foreplay part of that is impossible on drums for me.
Yeah. Yeah, there was a couple of Rush songs that definitely tricked me up too.
Oh, yeah.
I played a lot of Rush too, but love Rush. There's definitely some tricky drum songs, a lot of different ones. One of the most fun drum songs for me to play though was Spoon Man by Soundgarden, it's just a cool, like there's a kind of a section, kind of there's like almost like a solo portion of the song where it's just kind of like you got the drums coming in, it's just by itself, and it's just when you're in a room full of people, you kind of feel like you're on stage a little bit. It was kind of a fun moment, but that was, for me, it's very fun.
That was the best part. Forget like tipping the guitar or like hitting the button to activate the turbo mode. When you get with the drums to play your own random solo to trigger the turbo, that's the way to go.
Yeah, they're doing the drum fills, however that sounded on plastic. But yeah, no, that was definitely for me, again, another reason why it was the most fun and engaging instrument to play when you played Rock Band, and just that, even like you said, the little fills that you would do to activate your star power is so cool.
All right, time to move on to the honorable mentions, and we head back to the Xbox. For me in particular, this is the peak. This is the peak for the Xbox 360. We got Gears of War. So are we talking the series here? Is there something about the first game in particular?
I know you guys were gonna hit me with the series question versus this. No, it's just the first game.
Okay.
Obviously, the later ones were great in their own right for different reasons. But the first one for me was just such a visceral, eye-opening experience. I mean, for one, the graphics was just like, holy goodness, great! Like, how could they get much better than this? Obviously, we found out that it can get
best graphics ever. No, I'm with you.
No, I mean, just the way, just everything, this anabolic steroid injected bro shooter, cover based. I mean,
just wait till those graphics hit PlayStation, boys. Just wait.
Yeah, I don't think it.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to Debbie Downer that. I should have just shut up. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I got PlayStation 2, and they have a lot of, there's some good stuff there.
Switch 2 launch title, PlayStation 5 Mega HD upgrade. Let's go.
The new Xbox is going to play PlayStation games, so.
Yeah,
it's all full circle.
I just need to keep my Game Pass subscription, right? And I can just play on any machine. So
everything is an Xbox.
Love that. I love that. That's a great piece of marketing.
This candle's an Xbox, actually.
It is. Yeah, without question. I want to play. The Doom can play on it. They optimized it. Yeah,
absolutely,
for sure. But yeah, no, Gears of War. Like, honestly, the most memorable part was the multiplayer for me, and just getting into a room with a bunch of friends of mine, and just, all right, everyone in the middle, we're gonna do this randomly. Nowadays it's kind of like you kind of pick your sides, but I love the kind of randomizer. Like, okay, there's 8 of us, great. You hit the button, and then you're on whoever's team you're with. If you're the one guy that's a killer, and you got 3 people that are kind of just don't do well, you got to pick up the slack. And that's kind of where I realized, like, that game, of all the games I've ever played, like, that was the game I think I was really good at that game. Like, I just have self-realization of, like, wow, I'm actually pretty good. Playing on the ranked matches and things like that, and getting the Seriously achievement, which that took me a while, but I eventually got it. But it's just, the multiplayer was the most fun aspect of it, just playing with my friends, and we went from Call of Duty to that, and we just loved it. Fell in love with the chainsaw, which for me, the Lancer is top 3 gaming weapon of all time. Easily.
Well, I was going to ask you, is the Lancer, because it's a chainsaw, is the most ridiculous quote unquote futuristic weapon? Because like we've got lasers that come out of satellites in the sky. You've got
Doom had been around for 15 years, and they never said, "Let me strap a shotgun to a chainsaw."
I would say got the locust.
I don't like your level of disrespect being given here. There's a tone I don't like here.
No, I'm saying there's lasers and an entire race that is from underground, whatever, and the future weapon, like the premier weapon of this futuristic society, is a chainsaw. Is a chainsaw
strapped to a shotgun? Can you please stop acting like this is just going back to Evil Dead times? Like, he's got a chainsaw. No, this isn't Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It's a shotgun strapped to the saw. Give it its proper respect.
It's on the rifle.
It's a rifle. Yeah.
I don't care.
Like this was the premier choice of weapon, where we have satellite lasers coming down and taking people out. They're like,
someone got a promotion based on that. They're sitting around the boardroom and why don't we strap a gun to the saw? Perfect.
The best part is that before that we learn later on that's the new version, because the first one is literally a bayonet.
The retro lancer, right?
The retro lancer there's literally a bayonet. We said, what's better than a bayonet? A chainsaw.
No, the chainsaw. It was honestly just a showcase to show off the gruesome.
It's the graphics.
Just to show off the chunky Unreal Engine, just slicing through meat thing, and then they did and it was just amazing. After you cut through somebody, you're just looking at the two pieces of their body on the ground, in a perfect half, and then you get shot in the shotgunned in the face. But yeah, and it's just, some of the things that you did, like I did Roadie Run, just the screen rumble, just the way it kind of shook when you felt the shake of your controller just as you were going, kind of cutting through guardrails or on gridlock or whatever. Honestly, there was not a map I didn't like in that game, but just that kind of the game extended into your body a little bit. You just kind of felt every shot, every movement. The shotgun was just an absolute terror. And that honestly, if you didn't have the stuff when you played that multiplayer, you played ranked, you did not have the stuff unless your shotgun game was top tier. Like if you could not 1v1 and come out of that thing, most of the time that you're garbage. You were not good at the game if you could not handle your shotgun.
Absolutely.
Get your actives and all that stuff like that in. But for me, it's just it's.
Do you think this is the highest skill ceiling of a shooter? Like, to me, I thought this is actually the most complicated game, because you had to sprint a specific way. You had to hold a button to sprint, which now puts you in a new animation.
Yep.
You've got to you have to know the right range to melee, and then make sure you shoot them right. Because you don't shoot them right, they don't explode with that shotgun. And now you've lost.
Right.
Like to me, this is this was high skill ceiling multiplayer.
Very much so, because you had to be able to judge how quickly you could attach yourself to a wall. If you were too far away, it would just roll, right?
Yeah.
And those wall attaches were kind of was like a quick attachment to the corner. You could pop your corners, and being able to shoot over your cover without actually looking and your head pop. But for me, wall bouncing was one skill that I had to learn, to do well in that game. And there's people that would do stupid crap like crab walking, stupid glitches. They would, it was just annoying. It was hilarious, but it got old fast. But, if you were able to wall bounce pretty efficiently and actually clip somebody while you were wall bound, that shotgun spread had changed. And there was one thing that I did to kind of help myself train better was looking at the spread of the shotgun from different distances. Like, okay, how much meat am I going to hit if I'm this far away? But yeah, you're right, Ray. There was just it was a very high ceiling, and things like the torque bow and being able to, how long are you going to wait for that thing to unfurl and fully? But no, sometimes I would go halfway and I would pop it and I grab somebody's ankle with it. And I became very good with that torque bow. It was one of my other favorite weapons.
I love the torque bow so much. I think I almost forgot about it. I think I had it subconsciously, and that's why I love whenever they put the bows back in Fortnite. I think subconsciously I think back to the torque bow. That weapon's amazing. No,
it's absolutely amazing, and just kind of waiting for that straight line to unfurl. But sometimes, honestly, I arc it. Like I wouldn't wait. I didn't need a direct shot. If I knew he was on the other side of a cover, I would just pop it up just enough so it would arc over and it would land over there and at least, get him to move. And then, I could pop out and grab him. But, there was definitely, very high skill ceiling and so many different weapons to kind of play with. Boom shot was always just, for me, as kind of a noob weapon. I was like, all right, you're going to kill, you get yourself killed. So
you die too.
But it was amazing when you would, get 4 people in boom shot, from across the map. You grab it and then you just fire it off and you get 3 bodies with it. It was a great feeling. And seeing one come at your face was always like, oh crap, I'm dead. Just a lot of fun moments. And then later, I think they did the remastered version. I forget what they called it. Tried it. The multiplayer just wasn't the same. It kind of had the more modern quality of life improvements on it, and it just didn't hit me. Didn't feel quite the same. So I always go back to the first one on Xbox. I don't have it downloaded. And I'll just go in there and just look for I'll look up servers to see if anybody's active, and I'll just jump in one. Like I was in Raven Down last week, just playing on Gears of War 1. There's still people that are active in there. It just if you try to run a ranked matchmaking or casual, you're not going to find anything. Just people have lobbies set up, and that was one of the things I loved about the game was the server search. Just jumping in a game with some randoms and just having a ball.
You are you excited for the new release that they're gonna make, the prequel?
Oh, Emergence Day, yeah, E-Day, I think it's called. Mm-hmm. Oh my god, I can't wait. I mean, I know it's gonna have kind of the modern,
right?
The things that kind of are bring it into now. But I just want that punchy shotgun. I just want that. I'm excited. I think is it. I can't remember the name of the coalition. I don't know if they're the ones working on it. I'm guessing they are. That development studio, but I'm very excited for E-Day. I always wanted to kind of see that prequel, see where things were, and
right.
I'm not excited if I can't use my chainsaw lancer, if it's just a retro because it was before. I don't know when that chainsaw lancer was put into production, at what point in the series.
That's a very good thought.
The coalition is on it, just so you're aware.
Yeah, the coalition is because it's 14 years apart. I did not know that off the top of my head. I looked it up. E-Day and then Marcus being released, there's 14 years. Because we go Dominic 22 to Dominic 36 in Gears of War.
Gotcha. Okay, so before he got put away.
So it's a lot of time in between.
Yeah. No, I'm very excited for that. And honestly, if it can give me a boss that is as imposing as General Ram was when I played the first one.
He's huge.
He's a monster. He's huge, and he's got those freaking bats, those mini bats from, I always compare them to the movie Pitch Black with Vin Diesel. Those creatures that fly around and they just engulf you. I don't know, but those creatures, he controlled those. That was the most terrifying thing because that one of those, I think, partway through the campaign, you encounter these bats that just kind of tear you up like piranhas. If you're in the dark, if you don't stay in the light, they're going to tear you apart. And then he controlled those. So it was that element of the boss fight. Anyway, but yeah, as long as it has some really cool boss fights, the big set pieces with the Brumax and things like that, they're fine, they're okay. But just that, one-on-one on the ground, using cover, and just my wits against theirs, whatever AI they're going to throw at me. But yeah, it's more visceral.
All right, on to something else that's visceral. The 4.5 rated best indie of last year, Balatro. The highest quality drug on the market available to you in 2025. Don't download it on your phones, people. Whatever you do, don't do it.
Yeah. No, you definitely lose time. Honestly, I included this because I'm very new to it. And I just kind of want to discuss it with you guys a little bit. Just I'm learning and getting used to. Honestly, I haven't completed a run yet. I have not. I see the allure and the roguelike kind of feel to it, and the different jokers and things that they do. And for a while, I was like, what the hell do these planet cards do? Like, they increased, like, they're definitely helpful. I'm finding myself, just because of the fact that I get 2 pair more than anything, I'm always finding ways to kind of, boost that, those numbers and, help my hands against all these different blinds, these boss blinds, things like that. But I'm pretty new. I'm still kind of fresh to it, but I don't know.
I'll make my math teacher counterpart happy, and I'll tell you a couple things that are important. One is the order of operations. You want to make sure you're getting your multipliers in the correct order after you get your ones that are only addition at the same time. So you want your what's better, 3 times 1 plus 2 or 2 times 3. What's better between those? You want to make sure you get your order of operations.
Are you talking about the order of the jokers?
Yes. And
Okay.
there's times where you have to switch them around before you submit your hand, because you'll have something where, I get a 2 pair bonus and I've got 2 pair here, or I get 3 of a kind bonus, and like I may have to shift it around that I get the 2 pair bonus last because that's got a multiplier on it. So it's important to do that.
Blowing Boosh's mind right now,
Dude, I'm like looking at you like you got 3 heads. I have to change the order. I'm sorry, I'm back to that.
You not only have to change you have to pay attention to the order of the jokers, but there's also times when you get, like, depending on the bonuses on your individual playing cards, where the same thing happens. You don't want to put your polychrome, the 1.5 multiplier cards first. You want to submit them even if you're submitting a straight. You don't want to go ace king. Like, it defaults you that the aces are on the left, but if your ace is the 1.5 multiplier, you want to move that bad boy all the way to the right. So you may submit it as king, queen, jack, 10, ace, because it just reads from left to right. So you may have a plus 10 king, a plus 10 queen, a plus 10 jack, and then you get your times 3 multiplier card, or times 1.5 multiplier. That's more impactful than doing times 1.5 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10.
Interesting.
You told your teacher in 4th grade, I'm never going to need to know. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Guess what? Math teacher Ray over here should be teaching Balatro in class to these middle schoolers of his.
I did not know that facet of the game was important. I just was like, okay, I got a joker. This Fibonacci one looks like it's going to be helpful, and I put that one wherever. And I didn't pay attention to the order of where I placed them, and the fact that you have to kind of move them around.
Yeah, they don't tell you. Wild. You just kind of have to wander your way into it.
That sucks. All right, so maybe that's probably why.
And like, what's going to be painful for you? Like, there's certain things you have to do. Like, you have to play a run where you don't submit 2 pair. And it's going to give you a joker for the future where, like, okay, 2 pair is now worth 2 times.
Don't you take away my 2 pair. Do not take away my 2 pair.
You just got to rip the Band-Aid off and play a run with no 2 pairs. That's all you got to do. And you'll do better down the line, because it's going to say, okay, you're now eligible for the 2 pair multiplier card. It's like, as you unlock cards, it gets more fun. It gets more fun as you unlock cards. And like the other thing too is, like, you build around your jokers. So you get, like, the jokers that all say, like, here's a bonus for a straight. We only need 4 cards for a straight, and you could skip a card for it. Like, I literally started doing the quest for this week right before we jumped on the podcast. I'm in the middle of the run now. I'm like, I got to get back into this, because like I can do this because I got the free reroll joker, and I've got a joker that only needs 4 cards for a straight, and I've got a joker that lets me skip a card for a straight also. So I could do 7, 9, 10 queen, and I've got a straight. And I'm using all my straight planet cards. I'm not buying anything but straight planet cards, and it's all stuff like that.
That's wild. I mean, there's obviously a lot more, and then this
math is your friend, Boosh. Math is your friend.
Honestly, I'm gonna wrap my head around this.
Dan, don't make me do math.
Seriously, that was my least favorite subject. But no, I'll definitely look closer to see how I can kind of have it work in my favor. I have yet to beat white stakes. I'm on red deck white stakes right now, and I'm just like, you know what, screw it. I'm just gonna go to a new deck. And I was like, you know what, I can't do that. I gotta beat white stakes because I can't unlock anything else.
I had to do blue deck first, I think, and then I think blue deck was the first one I won, and then green deck's the one I completed all the way. That's the only one I have done so far.
I think one of the moments that for me was the most like, I got this game down, was when I got this burglar joker early on. It took away all my discards. I was like, oh crap,
But gave you the 200, or it gives you extra hands.
It gives me 3 hands, and I also got this other joker that allowed me to have increased my hand size, like +3.
Oh yeah.
So it kind of gave me more range. I was like, I'm going to take this to the house. All right.
It's just like Hades. You stack your boons, right? Yeah.
But anyway, the one moment was like, yeah, it just was such a justice thing for me. I even posted a stupid meme about it. I think this week on the challenge on one of the quests was, I got my burglar, and then I come up against the needle, and he, obviously, first time I went up against this guy, it's like, oh crap, I can only got one hand I can play, and I'm definitely not going to win. But I got this burglar I got the burglar. He's helping me out. I was like, oh, this game's amazing. Like for that purpose, for that thing alone, that just kind of made me go, wow.
Now I understand why they picked up Bilbo Baggins and the Hobbit as the burglar. That's the same thing. I need to know literature too. See? No, that's too far. I went too far.
I don't know how that connects, but yeah, whatever.
Some nerd out there appreciated what I said. InfoCynic's probably agreeing with me, which is shocking.
Either that or Darth Smeagol, one of the.
Yeah, Smeagol will get that joke.
For sure. Good guy.
But yeah, you can reorder the cards, and that's important.
Yeah, that opens my mind up a little.
My goal is to get Ray into this thing.
No, I'm not doing it.
Sorry, hold on.
I acknowledge it's probably amazing. I acknowledge it. I mean, it was the easy win, easy indie win for the entire every category. It wasn't even a question. Everybody knew.
All right, we've reached the point of the podcast where Boosh's your earbuds have died. Is that where we are?
Yes, that's exactly what happened. Can you hear me?
Okay, we can still hear you. You're good.
Yeah, no, my earbuds died.
It happens at this point in every podcast where somebody who's using earbuds or earpods or whatever they die.
Listen, I get for paying $40 for earpods. I got to buy the $100 one, so they'll last extra half an hour.
No, the $10 ones they last hours. I get 3 hours of the $10 ones.
Goodness gracious. The sound degradation kind of is noticeable.
No, you're good.
We're here. You're fine. No, you're good.
You're fine.
Okay, cool.
Listen,
Sorry.
I've got 20XX and Hades going on. I can only play so many roguelites at once because every single one's an investment.
I beat 20XX and I tapped out. All I wanted to do was just beat the final boss.
Just get the one right.
And I'm done. I can't. I had to walk away from it at that point. I beat the game. I'm done. I beat the game. I got the achievement.
There are more weapons to unlock.
I don't care. I unlocked everything with her. It's only the sword stuff I have to unlock. The
swords. It's just so awful. The sword stuff's so awful.
I played one round with a sword. I'm like, no, I can't. You don't play so Mega Man for close quarters combat. This is stupid.
You to get the extendo attack thing.
See, it's the same thing. He's talking about this the same way you got to talk about jokers. It's just, you got to compound them. It's like when you're playing a game where you compound the poisons or you compound the electrics. You compound the. That's all you're doing with Balatro. You gotta get lucky, compound, and there's times where you destroy cards. Like if you're playing straights, you just want to have all your 10s, jacks, queen, kings. You want to have high straights and avoid your face card killing joker at the end, or your face card killing boss.
I love Hades. I definitely like it more than Balatro. Balatro is growing on me. Again, I'm early into my growth.
Change your perspective. That's all. Yeah.
But Hades, even if you don't get lucky, you can still use your skill of evasion to get through the game. Like you can still kill people, just not as efficiently or as nice if you got all these really cool boons. You can still evade people and still survive. Whereas Balatro was like, okay, if you don't have the right jokers, then you're gonna have a tough time. But I think that part of the Balatro experience is rearranging those jokers to kind of help you. It's the evasion version of that in Balatro is just, okay, let me reorder these and now I can get through, even though I don't really have a strong hand right here.
Yeah, but you can build your deck to what you want it to be. You destroy cards you don't want, you buy the cards you do want, you buy the planet. You don't buy every planet card, you only buy the planet cards that, like, I've built this deck to play straights. I'm only going to get Saturn and buy straight card and bulk up my straights so I'm ready to go for that. Gotcha. So you'll get there. Join us. It's
I have a lot to, but it's a great game. Definitely a great game. Enjoying it so far.
All right, last game, Rocket League.
Oh yeah.
So we're here. We made it. We made it to Rocket League after all this. Usually our Rocket League folks just kind of start out with it, but we're here.
First rule of Rocket League is you don't talk Rocket League when you're a Rocket League player.
Yeah, like I'm not good at the game. I've been playing. I think I bought the game when it was available to buy on Xbox back in like 2016, $20, and then they made it free to play after. And people say it's not as good with Epic behind it, whatever. Anyway, so for me, I played off and on, wasn't very good, and then I discovered the dad gaming, back in 2020, shortly after the COVID. And, you know, I was honestly just looking for people to play with that, you know, just some sort of camaraderie. I was tired of solo queuing, and I just wanted to connect with people and be like, okay, I'm gonna use Facebook as a way to connect with people and organize to play the game. And then they had these tournaments. You know, the first time I played the tournament, I was completely lost. I had to get into a Discord. What the hell is Discord? I had to, you know, they were doing the teams on spreadsheets, and it was some primitive stuff they were doing, but it was a good time. Everyone had a great time, and I, you know, continued that, and I did probably a tournament every week, and I really didn't get much better because I don't play the game, you know, more than an hour a day, sometimes a few times a week, but really, like, that's Rocket League is kind of my bookend for this conversation. Well, at least part is for my top 6, just because it introduced me to you guys. It introduced me to this amazing community of people that, you know, want to help each other out and just are nice to each other and kind. And, you know, there's been a couple of times where I've been paired up with some people that are a little bit, you know, take things a little seriously, but, you know, everyone's got a little competitiveness in them. They just need guys like me to kind of, you know, just kind of relax them and make them laugh a little bit. But it's been an awesome thing. And honestly, I feel like that connection to this community, you know, Channel 3, and I know P3 is the thing that's out there, and I chime in, I check in with them once in a while, but Channel 3 is my daily go-to. So, you know, for Rocket League, I'm in there almost every week, sometimes twice a week. There's more events that, you know, that I want to participate. I try to participate in as many as possible, but that's for me. That's the only reason I play Rocket League is because of this community. So I'm not very good.
It's funny you talk about figuring out Discord. I didn't even know Discord was a thing until Dad Gaming. That was the same thing. Like I joined Dad Gaming, and then I think a few months after that, I joined a Discord because they were like, "Yeah, we chat on Discord." I was like, "What in the world is Discord?" I was like, "I don't even understand how this works."
Yeah, no, it's kind of like, what am I doing? Why can't I just be in a game chat with you on a game? Well, I think it works better this way. Anyway, I soon discovered shortly, you know, later that Discord is kind of like the best thing, one of the best things that happened to gaming, because you could, you know, any cross-play game, you can play with anybody and not have to deal with the obtuse, you know, trying to get into the party chat with people and having it work. And it's very consistent, and the sound's decent. But yeah, I grew to love it.
It's always about the audio, right? Just something about Discord audio just works well. It's always about the audio.
Their bots send me 800 friend requests a day, but at least their audio doesn't suck. I've got that.
The audio is great. So any idea how many hours you've played Rocket League at this point, since you actually paid for the game?
I you know, I'm probably, because the hours I haven't figured out, but I think that I'm somewhere around like 6 days or something like that. Even though that's not a lot of time, but it is a lot of time. I think, you know, when I count, you know, sit there and figure out the hours, and I don't know, maybe it's more than that. I think it's more than that. I'd have to look at my profile, but the last time I checked, it was like less than 10 days. So I'm still like, for that, the time played is definitely, you know, it correlates with my skill level, which right now is platinum. I think I peaked platinum 1. Sometimes I hit plat 2, depending on the game type, but that's kind of where I'm at right now. And, you know, if I put more time into the game, I could probably be better. I just, you know, I'm not looking to make it a job. You know what I mean?
Hear you. Any thoughts on anything you want to see, if they upgraded the game or changed anything that you're like, man, I wish Rocket League did this?
Honestly, I'm looking. I want them to do more weird game modes, like dodgeball or something. Like I had an idea of like a dodgeball Rocket League game, and I know it could work. I'd like them to kind of push the boundaries a little. You know, there's only so much you can do. The skins are the skins. You know, I like that they have, you know, every season they have kind of a new type of car, and, you know, they throw like, you know, 1,000 different, you know, colors on it, and sometimes they have like a cool skin that goes well with it. Like one of my favorite skins were like the Halloween ones that they come out every year. Those are really fun. Some of the gold explosions. There's only so much you can do with cars. It's not like Fortnite where it's, I don't know. It's just Fortnite really has, there's so much, individuality with the way that you can set up your character. So many things you can, I don't know. It's a better feeling when I'm skinning. It sounds kind of horrific. It's a better feeling when I'm going through different skins on Fortnite than I'm going on Rocket League. It's like, okay, this skin's kind of cool, but like honestly, it's so tiny. Who's going to notice?
Right.
But yeah, honestly, more weird game modes. I would love that. That'd be nice.
Let's talk weird game modes as we look into the future. Probably the game that is a top most list this year, still slated for 2025. I don't expect it to change. I think they wanna land. I think this one
2025.
They want to hit that mark. We'll see. But Grand Theft Auto 6, what do you want to see here?
I don't know how they're going to integrate the. I want to have a robust online system. I played a lot of GTA Online. I amassed a small fortune.
A $10 billion industry. Yes. I think they're going to put some effort into that, Boosh. I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Yeah. How many times I ran KO Perico by myself? I can't. I mean, it's in the thousands at this point. But I just obviously the story. It seems interesting. The locale. Honestly, some of the videos that I've seen, at least the ones that were released by Rockstar, on purpose, were seem pretty cool. Just it's definitely reflective of the society we live in now, and that's what I want to see. I want to see outside my window in GTA 6. I want to do all the things you can't do in real life. That's what, for me, the draw of Grand Theft Auto is just being able to do stuff that you can't do in real life, and just and graphically amazing. Obviously, they never disappoint with that. It's been a long time since they've released a I think at least for a while since was it Red Dead Redemption 2 was like their last game they released. I can't remember.
Yeah. Well, and listen, to be clear, you can do whatever you want in GTA in real life. I mean, you won't be able to do much after you steal an F-16.
I was thinking you can do it, right?
You can do it once, that's for sure.
Yeah. I don't know if you can steal. I don't know if you can steal a jet.
I don't know if you can get close to
one.
We can talk offline. I don't want any more of this.
I can't.
We can discuss.
I can't make an airplane appear right in front of me by pushing a bunch of buttons.
I mean, I don't know how much they're going to push it further beyond Grand Theft Auto 5, other than graphically and all the little things that you can do to kind of make it almost like a real life simulator. But I don't know, more details. I don't know. I never played the golf thing. Tennis. I wasn't really into that. I hit people with golf clubs.
What about the yoga?
I did the quick time event for that, and it was the thumbsticks up and left, in a similar motions or whatever. Yeah, obviously, but that I did that maybe a couple of times. That was about it, and just to kind of get in touch with my kind of just make sure my my chi was harnessed, as it were. But yeah, no, I want more. Just chaos, and that's what I'm looking forward to, and just a much prettier box. That's all.
So let me ask this question. This has been the question of speculation, not that will it come out this year, but the question is going to be how much will it be, and is there the question is there a prohibitive price tag for you for this one?
For GTA 6, honestly, I probably won't touch it if it's going to be more than $80. It's a video game, and unless they have like a really robust online system to start. I mean, obviously they have a lot to grow, they learn from, and then it's still making a crazy amount of money. They're not just going to shut that down. They're going to have two kind of, I think, parallel with each other. But for me, like, yeah, back to your question. Yeah, $80. Honestly, any more than that, I'm gonna wait till it goes on sale. It's not that important to me, but I really love GTA 6. I love the GTA series, so to speak. Yeah.
I'm very curious what of like there's been a lot of like would you pay $100 for it questions out there, and I'm trying to figure out like I want to source them back to figure out if it's some analyst in his basement trying to sound cool, or like if they hit that like I got it right, or if it is Rockstar through channels trying to test and see like how far can we push this, because like okay, people kind of accept $70, $80, yeah, but maybe, but like they're also in this for a long play too. They you could buy after the first year, you could buy GTA for like $15. You just waited for the right time. I can't see them doing $100 for this thing. That's the crazy thing to me, because again they're not making this is not, oh, we're going to create a new live service element. We're not going to try and make Foam Stars to take down Splatoon and give it 6 months, or Hunters that's like announced that's dead October 1st. Like, we're not trying to bring a brand new IP into the market. They can come in and they can charge $40 for all it matters, and they know they're going to make the money on the back end. What is it? You're going to come in, you're going to buy the gear. What does it matter?
Yeah. Speaking of Foam Stars, you ever put that on Enhance again? I'm gonna file a complaint.
You want to see where the complaint department is? I'll show you right here.
Yeah. I'm gonna submit it as a bug, and I'll have Joel racking his brain trying to figure out why.
He only knows about them. We tell him there's a bug that he's got to fix. So sometimes the bugs are just, oh, Ray, I have to press a button. No. He won't even know that bug's there.
That was awful. Foam Stars, terrible.
Good luck tomorrow, boys. Good luck.
I don't know. You've been getting out of hand with these enhancements. Like, was it Dragon Warrior today or something?
Well, hang on. You can't call out.
Today was okay.
You can't call out Dragon Quest's first game and say like that's unfair, as opposed to like, all right, I get Foam Stars. Again, I planted a seed 2 weeks in advance. I gave y'all a warning. Pay attention to trivia. I didn't just surprise you with it.
I gotta pay better attention. It's on me. It's on me. I just complain because I like to hear you rant.
That's great. So great. Now I got it. Oh God.
I love the Dragon Warrior is Dragon Age's first game. Is that what?
Dragon Quest? Yeah, it's the first Dragon.
Dragon Quest. Okay.
They could not. I think Dungeons and Dragons or somebody had a trademark on Dragon Quest, so they had to call it Dragon Warrior for the first like 7 games over here, or first 8, and then but they're all the Dragon Quest series.
It's amazing. People either guessed it in 3 or 7 and up.
Yeah, you notice there's a strict age and nerd gap between the 3s and the 7s and ups.
Bits is our gap. There's a bunch, and there's Bits at 6, and then everyone else is 7 and up.
Yeah, Bits only got it because of age. That's why you got the 6 instead of 7.
Something happened there.
All right. Well, let's chat quests then, and we pick a quest from the Channel 3 history books for you to discuss. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make you do this. Today's quest was to write lyrics to a video game song. Now we were giving extra XP for a performance. Smeagol, I should have given him 1 XP just out of spite for the nonsense he pulled. I think I gave him slightly more than 1, but that's neither here nor there.
For the 1 word.
But I would like at least a dramatic reading, if nothing else, of the Elden Ring song you wrote lyrics to today.
It's a great song.
The Tim Rice to your Elton John, or you are the Tim Rice to Elton John. You are the Bernie Taupin to Elton John. You are the whoever else writes songs for Elton John to his music.
Goodness gracious! All right, put me on the spot there.
I am putting you on the spot, so you can. You're on your phone. You can't even pull up your.
All good. It's all good. I
don't need you to sing. If you want to sing it, listen. If you want to sing it, I'll throw 1,000 XP on your account right now.
Oh God, I'm gonna do that. I need the XP. I gotta that. Hopefully that Ocarina will be on the counter again one of these days.
Oh, see, now he's taking shots. He wanted to get me riled up, and then now he's taking shots at you, Ray. We should make a GIF out of that.
This is why you're not gonna see any of those in the shop anytime soon.
Oh, anyway, all right. All right. Die, 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 die. I'm trying to play it in my head and try to sing it at the same time. Let's see. Die, 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 die. Just one more die, 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 die. I don't know.
That was beautiful.
It's just I don't know if I got the right right octaves in there, but it's all I can remember is just the beginning how that goes. But yeah, with some
No, that's
practice,
right. You got it.
Listen, I don't care. You just got 3,000 XP on your account because everyone was a bunch of cowards today, and really let me down on this one. So enjoy your 3,000 XP for that.
Wow, dude, thanks, man. Goodness gracious. It puts me into 41 tickets. Yes,
I
love it.
All right, last question. Favorite feature on Channel 3?
I definitely feel like the events, are probably one of my favorite. I mean, at first it was the mini games. Everyone says target, enhance, blah blah blah. But for me, like the events are so underrated because there's always something going on, like a few days a week. I know that the cart gang is kind of like there's a very close knit, small group. There's a lot of people that play it. It's always the same people, and I have Mario Kart. I have a Switch. I have Discord. I could definitely take part in this. I just being able to just knowing that there's always something I could play. I'll be honest with you, a little disappointed that we don't have our party night. I think I've stressed that at one point, but just being able to go through that gauntlet of Fall Guys, Fortnite and Rocket League all in one night was just an amazing experience the few times that I did it. But maybe in the future, I don't know why it had to be discontinued.
I'm disappointed no one was showing up for it.
Okay, well there you go. That's probably the reason.
Yeah, we may have to look into it again, but like it was getting kind of tough. Like it was, and I know what happens. But
I had 6 people showing up for Fall Guys.
Sorry. Yeah. Well, I get it.
Made me sad.
It's a long time investment for the people that were coming in. But,
that was it too.
But yeah, no, definitely the events. Always something I can dip my toes into, even if I'm not familiar with. I'll give it a shot. But yeah, definitely my favorite feature for sure.
Fall Guys, March 20th, Saturday. Fall Guys Saturday.
Last Saturday. You just say last Saturday now.
Last Saturday, Fall Guys Championship Series happens when this comes out. Dude, can you believe who won it? Wow, absolutely amazing.
No, that's crazy.
Right?
I can't believe Dan inserts name here. I don't think this is probably going to be edited before that. I can't believe that finals. Inserts name here won. That was crazy the way they, won that qualifying round, and then in the finals they did that. Wow,
it was nuts.
Wow.
Oh my god, crazy, wild, right?
One of the best tournaments we've had.
Last
Saturday, the 22nd. Oh man! On that note, we've made it to the end of another What Are Your 3 podcast. Thank you, booshgadoosh, for being with us. You can find the podcast at c3.gg/podcast shopping every Wednesday morning at 3:33 a.m. Eastern on all the major platforms, including Spotify, YouTube Music, and Apple Podcasts. I'm Ray. Dan puts this all together. Our theme song is by Caster Garden, and for our executive producer Joel Willis. Have a good day, everybody.
Channel 3 is the future.